Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Coffee and Compliance. We're here to answer any questions you may have about EUDR. I'm Holly Waters-Marsh from Urban Fox Marketing, and I'm speaking to Swapan today, the CEO of Deeply, to answer your questions in relation to EUDR and how the Timber ID platform can be your solution. Today, we're going to be focusing on the potential delay to the EUDR deadline, and we're going to talk about what happens next. So we will be covering, is a delay likely to take place? How does the situation affect the process? The best course of action for those who haven't started yet? And what is the impact for companies who have already prepared, among some other questions? But firstly, a bit more context around this, just as a reminder. So, on the 23rd of September, the European Commission for the Environment announced an additional 12-month postponement of the EUDR enforcement deadline, which is currently set for the 30th of December. And that's under consideration. That was the proposal, which has obviously sent a shockwave through the industries affected, as many companies have already spent a lot of time and a lot of resources on getting ready for the end of year deadline, whereas some have yet to start, causing them to delay further. So, hot off the press this week, the latest letter, however, sent this week is from companies from across the industries affected, calling for alternative measures to the delay. And they've been warning about the impact of delaying the process, not only to the businesses and the supply chains themselves, but that by delaying the regulation, the impact it will also have on protecting the environment against deforestation, which is the point of the regulation. So this is a big debate at the moment. So the first question then, Swapan, is the delay likely to take place?
Thank you for the introduction and just keeping everyone updated on what's happening. Yeah. So we're like 2 weeks now from the letter of the commissioner, which I would say, from the context with clients was a big, shock. Yeah. Nobody was expecting this approach. There were some
Mm,
concerns when the benchmarking system of risks was announced in May, and we all recall there were some letters and initiatives from the EU Parliament saying that it has to be revised. Yeah, and that was the moment when everyone was expecting that if something is going to happen, it will be at that time. Yeah, since nothing
mm,
happened then, I can say that everybody is in a shock a bit. I don't know, we can call it opening a Pandora box. Hopefully, all
mm,
understand what that means. It means we don't know what's going to happen, but we're in business. And in business, we need to be certain. We need to have the capability to plan our activities, and they're long term. So I'm really not
mm,
surprised that the reaction from all the stakeholders is coming back and saying, "Look, we began to prepare last year." So just
mm,
wanted to do a reminder here, and just talking to different stakeholders, observing different events. I think everyone has forgotten one important thing. EUDR has been announced on June 1st, 2023. Yeah? We're 27 months now from the announcement. So basically, from the first day of announcement, the company can get in the process and can comply with it. We don't need to wait until the end deadline, which was set by the end of 2024. Last year, everybody knows, has been extended
mm,
by 1 year. That time, not many people were arguing because, yes, everybody understood that some processes are complex and they need more, time. But when we see now that the commissioner is bringing the same, reason for consideration of postponement, which are IT issues, So I think the answer from the industry and the stakeholders is very easy and is simple. Just fix your IT, yeah?
Mm,
And I cannot really just believe that all those investments which have been made in different sectors of the industry, the commodities which are under EUDR, will now somehow be postponed. So I think
mm,
all the voices about maybe understanding that there can be some technical reasons, so then find the alternative. But
yeah.
alternative is not in the postponement or delay of the date. It's finding other ways how we can support the industries to get compliant.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Um, and so how does this situation affect the process, or how should it affect the process?
I mean, the stakeholders are learning that the main workload is related to the collection of data. So
Mm,
information gathering, depending on where you are in the supply chain, depending in which exact, industry you are or sub-industry. So it's all reflected in the processes, yeah. And we see here that most of the clients were a little bit not having that in mind, that it can take much longer than they were anticipating, especially that it is linked with your supply chain. So you need to get the data from your supplier. He needs to get it from his sub-supplier. So here I think the main issues around this one. And we can see and we can observe that most of the larger entities are prepared. The medium size, I think, also in the vast majority. Now we're talking more about the small entities, the SMEs. But here, the SMEs received really a good support from the Commission, simplifications. So with the simplifications which are on the table, if you really understand what are your obligations, you can easily deploy them. The question is, do we understand what we need to do under UDR? And here I think is the bottleneck of what needs to be done.
mm. And so if a company hasn't started yet, or hasn't even thought about starting, what is the best course of action for them?
I would say, like you're on a flight and somebody's saying is a last call, yeah? So
Mm,
to embark. So basically we're there, yeah? It's really the last call for all the guys who were hesitating or they were informed by local organizations, associations. No, it's not going to happen, we'll change it, etc., etc. So all those who got impacted, influenced, but they still understand that they need to get compliant. Our message is, look, as a SME, you can do it really, I mean, fast. You need to get the right support and the right tools for that. Yeah. And once you receive it, it is not really difficult. Uh, but really, it's 2 months to Christmas. Yeah. So have
mhm.
it in mind.
Yeah, yeah, good advice. And what is the impact for companies who have already prepared? What's the advantage there for them?
I mean, I hear when I talk to our clients, they say, look, we don't know what the commission is going to do, but we will anyhow be in line and we shall deploy the process, irrespective of what we're going to do. Why? Because we spend the money, we're prepared, we're ready, we'll submit the DDSs, and we will inform the market, look, we're here, we're prepared, and we're serving, our obligations, taking care of the climate issues which are around it. So we're
Mm,
supporting that, and that's our competitive advantage. So if my competitor is not doing it or has been, I mean, just postponing, obviously I can get my competitive advantage and say, look, I'm the right person to deal with, as well as is coming, which is really good from the top of the supply chain. Yeah, the large retail organizations are simply keeping on track, and they're expecting that their suppliers will be in line with the EUDR, and nothing has changed since one
Mm,
letter of a commissioner. Everything is moving on, and hopefully will stay as it is.
yeah, brilliant. Those were our key questions for today. So let's move on to some further questions, and I'll pull through some that are coming through. How will Dplyr support this transition?
I mean, we are having our platform being adopted since 15 months. We launched the Timber ID platform in May 2024. Our first clients began in autumn of 2024. So we're here, we're prepared. We're giving a really good offering to all the industries because we have built our platform, which is dedicated to the EUDR processes, and not only EUDR, the supply chain compliance processes. In our case, we're having really a good understanding and good expertise in order to understand the client's needs, give him the right advice, and move on. So simply book a call, get a live demo, and move on.
Great. Another question here. What are the other benefits of complying with EUDR?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of benefits, and when I'm, observing and listening to the market, what's being told, what's happening, everybody's talking about deforestation, yeah,
Mm,
and I'm hearing some voices. No, in Europe we have no deforestation, yeah. So why we need to comply, yeah, and
mm,
everything is obvious here, yeah. We're even increasing the air, the forest area, yeah. That's not about it. We're in a global world, and once we want to act globally, a regulation must be implemented globally. Yeah, and
mm,
I'm often giving examples to the organizations and individuals who are hesitating or not really having the full overview understanding of it. Yeah, so let's have a case that there is a European the company exporting oak veneer or beech veneer. Yeah, we have great hardwood in Europe, France,
mm,
Germany, Poland, and yeah, we're exporting it, and the client is using our product to build his product. Yeah, so
mm,
using other materials and our material, and he wants to re-export back to you. So if he doesn't have the track of the origin, how he will do it? Yeah, it will be
mm,
impossible. Yeah. So and this example should give the answer to the question. We need to look at it globally, and we need to understand that supply chain, the compliance is not coming just with EUDR. Yeah. In
mm,
the timber business, we had UTR before on the legality, especially. Yeah. Exactly. That's the same with the EUDR. Not everybody is understanding that there are a lot of other regulations which are also linked with the information the gathering and transparency and traceability in the supply chain. So just want to add to everyone who is hesitating, I mean, today, from January 1st, 2027, the regulation related to a digital product, the passport, will be in force. That's basically exactly the same thing. We're looking at the
mm,
history of a product. We need to know in the supply chain what was happening and was the source of the product. So Supply chain, the compliance, gathering the relevant information, which is reliable and verifiable, that's a must, irrespective if we're talking just about EUDR or any other obligations. And I think it should be from a organization, perspective, the goal. We want to be sustainable, we want to be ethical, and we want to take care of our clients, that they're sure that we're taking care of the processes which are in place.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, and so how are supply chains dealing with the situation that we talked about with the potential postponement that was announced?
I mean, it's individual. Somebody saying, okay, let's wait, let's see, and that's minority. That's good. The vast majority who already began are continuing. I think the biggest issue is with those who didn't begin. They do
Mm,
not know, they're lost. Yeah, they don't know if they should hear this voices or hear to that voices. And my recommendation is look at it from the perspective of your competitors, because you're in an open market and everyone
mm,
has a competitor, and look from the perspective of your buyers. Ask your buyers what they would expect from you and how you need to react. And that should be the two questions to rise and get an answer and act accordingly.
yeah. Um, I've got a question here. Does every company need a document to define their process?
Absolutely. Every company needs to provide document which will define the process of the deployment of the EUDR obligation in that organization. Yeah, because once a competent authority will come for an audit, that's the first questions they will ask, because they need to understand what did we do in order to get compliant. And this document should give the highlights of it, and should define the processes which we took in our organization. So we here at Dply are supporting our clients by supporting them in delivering a template of preparing this documentation, because obviously it's individual on the of the company specifics, in order to make them also understand what they need to do under EUDR. So even those who are open and say, okay, let's move on, yeah, and we want to get compliant, we then are facing a situation. The willingness is there, the attitude is there, but now what I'm going to do, yeah. And
Mm,
here a lot of support is needed, which we're offering to our clients. Actually, this support should come from the government organizations, yeah, from the
mm,
authorities. They should educate the market how to behave and how to understand your obligations under EUDR, because at the end of the day, one day they will come and they will audit. Yeah, so
yeah.
they should be the guys to, support. And here we're just to like to add, yeah, that one of the of the initiatives to give relief to those who are not prepared is to have, let's say, extra timing of non-implementation of Article 25 and 26, which is related to audits and eventual penalties. Yeah, and
Mm,
whatever, timing is put, I strongly believe that this is the best way how to find a deal, in thinking that we need to support still those clients who are not prepared yet. So we're not penalizing those who are prepared, especially
yeah,
those who were prepared since last year. So already
exactly.
one
Yeah.
year, were here in a waiting list, and we're supporting those who want to jump on the flight at the last moment.
Mm. Um, On that note, you've already covered this to an extent, but a question here is if I start now, does that give me enough time to comply with the current deadline, which is the end of the year?
If you are a SME, yes, we can handle it. Yeah, because we are implementing our Timber ID platform just in one day, and the rest is for you to gather the relevant information and adjust the processes. Now we're talking about the manual way. If we're talking about the full integration via API, which most of the clients are using, obviously this timing is related on the organization side. So they need to understand, they need to know how much time they need, or maybe how much internal or external resources they need to get the API integration. That all depends on the processes which are in place, the complexity of the production of this organization, etc., etc. So yes, for sure, the last call is here to move ahead and still get compliant. And if there need to be done any fine tunings, I believe that the support here from the commission and the competent authorities will come. Even everything is as is now. I don't believe anybody will penalize someone on the January 1st. Yeah, so you
Mm.
still have time, but uh, I personally believe you need to get on the flight. Yeah. If you stay at the airport, I don't think that is the best approach and will be respectfully honored by the competent authority. So, in any other way, just join the flight and move on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And how long does it take to deploy the functionality of the platform?
Very simple, as I say, implementation just one day, and we have no limits in users. We have no limits in suppliers. So very easy, very I mean fast. You can put in the organization, split the workload to different individuals to get some things. I mean faster, and our platform is designed and is pre adjusted already to the processes which you need to do. So you don't need to
Mm.
build the processes from the scratch. You'll get a lot of support of all the existing functionalities and workflows which are within the platform. I would like to mention our electronic delivery note, I mean, system, where we're gathering all the relevant information on transaction level and building the future audit files fully automatically. We're doing the verifications of the received DDS numbers automatically. So there are a lot of things which we can automate and support our clients. As I say, it's really very individual when we look at it, to whom we're talking and what is the processes in his organization.
Mm. Okay, and you touched on it earlier already, but have you got any examples of clients that have used Timber ID and share those outcomes?
We have multiple examples. What is very important and is getting a very nice reception now from our clients. Our
Mm.
platform is covering 21 languages. Yeah, so the six
Mm.
global languages main, but also we added Chinese, Hindi, and all Eastern European languages, Scandinavian languages. That's very important for organizations which are grouped in different, I mean, countries. We're supporting that handle the processes in their local language. For all the importers, it's a huge relief once they're importing from China that their Chinese, I mean, partner can get access to the platform in Chinese language, can understand what are the objectives to be fulfilled. So in this way, we're really supporting our clients globally. Now, we just had here in Poland a webinar this week. We asked one of our clients to give a testimonial. The webinar recording is on YouTube, so anybody can watch. Very, very interesting, I mean, case of a company which is having very, very complex operations. And they began with us October last year. And they understood how long it will take them to gather all this relevant information and how to adopt their workflows. As well, the integration, I mean, process in their case was of a little bit higher complexity because their ERP system was the so-called homemade one, so it was developed for their needs. And in these cases, obviously, you need to get involved. The company which was providing these services, and that company obviously also has their own schedule. And in real life, it really takes not days as it could take. It takes, I mean, weeks. So they are fully prepared now. They are already submitting the DDSs on a test base, and they make it a decision, irrespective of what's going to happen now with the discussions on a delay. They're kicking off the process, and they will be compliant and deliver their DDSs as it was scheduled by the end of this year.
Yeah, that's a great good news story. And then more from my perspective, it's always really interesting to know from a UK point of view what the impact is on a market that's outside of the EU, but still very important. Do you have any examples here
Oh,
of how that
yes.
could work?
I mean, we have quite recent examples. One of our clients is exporting to UK, and he just got a on-site audit from the buyer, and the buyer was strongly expecting to have the full EUDR, I mean, compliance, irrespective of the discussions of delays, etc. So was very, very pleased to see that the company is in progress and will be in line of getting compliant with the entire deployment by the end of the year. So yeah, I mean, I'm really glad that UK is just following the same attitude as the EU. Hopefully, not on the delay attitude. Yeah.
Mm.
So let's move on. Yeah, and from the other perspective, I can say because the major the complexity really under EUDR is for the importers, which are
Mm.
importing products or material outside of EU. Yeah, and as we know in UK, there are a number of traders. Yeah, and they're involved in this process. So yeah, it's very, very important here that all of them are in line with the expectations of the transparency, in traceability, and the right way of gathering the information in order to simply have their supply chains the compliant. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, that's it. We're out of time already, but thank you so much again for your questions. That's a really, really good discussion on an important topic. So, just a bit of a recap. We've talked about the potential delay, and again, it is a potential delay to the EUDR and how that's affecting companies, whether they've started the process yet or not, and how supply chains are dealing with this situation, and ultimately how Timber ID can help this situation, and the value that it brings to you as a business. So next Thursday at 9:30, we'll be answering your questions again. Over the next couple of weeks, though, we're going to be talking about supply chain compliance, not just for EUDR, but as Swapan mentioned earlier, as well, there are other regulations that are very important, such as digital passports, etc. So we're going to be breaking that down to show you the benefits of it and how it can be a strategic advantage to your business. So please do share any questions that you have in advance, and you'll find the link in the LinkedIn post. See you next week.
Thank you.